Kondikonda amandikunda imbali ya wanu nilikuno kuno nilikuno kunoko.
Yeah man, this is Sanbi, otherwise known as Wonjo. You're watching Crafthouse TV. Stay tuned.
Nilikuno kuno nilikuno kunoko. Umveteta amandikunda imbali ya wanu nilikuno kuno nilikuno kunoko.
Welcome back to yet another episode of Streethouse, and as usual, you with me, your host, Lucy JR, and I do hope that you're buckled up for the weekend, because here on Streethouse, I am definitely buckled up. And before we actually get into the heat, kicking off the show, here is music coming in from Eli and Juji, featuring Yo Maps, and it's called Yabaya. Let's check it out.
One time, real beats. Inali imagination, unali ni confusion, mudumu muni vision, ndimanga nawe caution. Mwana wao nchipikichara, ineo ndine robara, angadi ndine wansara, ngadi madamu ndisara, auze yabaya. Mami cheke tenda.
Unanivomela cheweka sunga bize mtima ndaba ninatonkela uliweka kumutima ninavomela umani sunga napaize we kukusia yoni binzi ine I do diwe ninafaka face permission sibanga kugule sindiwe na corruption you better na ine I do diwe ninafaka face permission sibanga kugule sindiwe na corruption better na ine sendera mafupi wera ndikuveka ringi tena godifunge chikisi ya wansaka pasure iwe fendela pafupi wera nkuvaliga na ringi tuona nioneka kini yabaya mami imba belo imba belo yabaya mami imba belo yabaya mami imba belo you belong to me, this and this feeling. Yabaya mami imba Toy masiwe yabaya mami imba belu sispensiwe yabaya mami imba.
I'm so glad you could join me again for this week's episode of Who Is right here on Streethouse. And in today's episode, we're stepping across borders. Last time we went from Malawi to Zimbabwe via America, and we're back to the motherland here in Zambia again. We have a guest straight from Zambia. He is a singer-songwriter, and his name is Luwizzy, straight from Vaneba. Welcome to the show, Luwizzy.
Thank you so much, Lucy, and thank you for having me on the show.
Definitely a pleasure to have you here. So before we get into the deeper
Yeah.
stuff, what actually took you into music? What was the genesis for you to say, you know what, I think Luwizzy is an artist and I can do this?
Well, well, for me, music came at an early age. Well, particularly, I can't say I grew up in a family of music, but then I grew up in an environment of music, neighbors, friends, and a couple of family here and there. So the basis of the story is I've been I've been more of the entertainment guy in the house. So, and then I found music, and I realized I could, write good music and set myself different from most of the people. And it also just came from people that had me make music. The advice to say, you know what, I think you can do music, so why not try it? So when I tried it, a lot of people are happy to hear it because, I mean, I can't say I'm the best until someone else says it. So for me, it was coming from the surrounding.
Yeah. Okay, so I hope that your parents weren't the type to actually put you in the sitting room when guests come and say, come on, sing for us.
Not really. My mom is a very enthusiastic person. When she sees talent, she tells you have it. But my dad is more of the person that, yeah, talent, Africa. So it's always been hard for me to convince my dad. But then when things started making sense, he was on board.
All right, so do you think that culture has an impact on the way people pursue their music as well? When they look at people with talent, is it they usually look at them like, you know what, you guys need to sit down and go to school first? What are your thoughts on that? Especially there in Zambia.
Yeah, culture has a very big influence to especially a lot of Zambian youth, because everything we do now is always goes back to what they told us and how we're supposed to live our lives. So back in the day, music wasn't really considered something that somebody would, really even consider a career to sustain yourself. But then now that the tables have turned and things are working out, it's like there's a bit of a culture fluctuation. Like this is what our parents knew, but then things are new now. So how are we supposed to do this? So of course, yeah, culture does play a very big role in the music industry and Zambian circle at large.
All right, so who would you say you actually grew up listening to that inspires your sound?
Growing up, definitely growing up, I listened to a lot of R&B artists, the likes of Michael Jackson, the likes of Chris Brown. Since entertainment was my thing, I always liked to combine music, choreography, and movies, things like that. So my interest has always been based around that era, because for me, it's more entertaining when you can make music and see and create a feel around it with maybe dancing, create a story behind the song. So that's where movie comes in and filming. So for me, that's what does it for me.
All right, so we're also looking at a choreographer then now.
Yeah. I have always been a stiff dancer, but I know I have the talent. I haven't really done much of choreography, but my next few projects, they're gonna have a lot of that.
All right, so how would you describe being an artist in Zambia in terms of competition? What does it take for somebody to actually break out and say, you know what, this guy is quite popular?
To put that, well, the Zambian music is very competitive, It's very, very competitive, because there's artists born every day. There's a new artist every week, There's a new artist every week. There's a new sound almost every every 2 months. You know, so being an artist here is challenging. At the same time, that's what's good about it, because you just can't be in one position. You have to think widely, and you also have to be competitive. So you always have to have an open mind, being able to adjust to how the music industry is working. If things change, you move. You know what I mean?
Okay, I like how you've mentioned that the Zambian sound is constantly changing every 2 months. The Zambian sound that we used to hear in Malawi was quite different back in the day from when I remember how Zambian music broke out. It was the likes of King Leon, and there was a popular song that actually was around that time. It was a different artist. It was Lupupa Lupupa. That was a sound that Malawi was very much addicted to. So how would you describe the evolution of Zambian music right now, from that sound to the one that you have now?
Okay, so back in the day, creativity was limited. It's different from now. It's different from now, because back in the day, when you're gonna make a live song, it's gonna have to be a live song from start to end. And then the way you do it is just the way it is. But then now, looking at the digital industry, the way everything has changed now, someone could sit down and just make a song. So creativity is easy now. So we still have the organic part of Zambian music. The only thing that's evolving is the new sounds that are outside, because at the end of the day, when you're trying to make a song, you're trying to also tap into so many different cultures. At least that's what I do. When I'm making a song, I just don't try to capture my culture alone. I try to fuse into so many cultures so that it's very relatable, even as I'm trying to bring you to the Luwizzy sound. You know what I mean? So, well, now the sound is different because of the digital side of it. Otherwise, if we never had any advancement on the digital side, I feel like the sound would still be the same. It would still feel like the way it used to feel in the old days.
Yeah. All right. So you did a song with another hot artist right now in Zambia. Looking at your maps, you have a song with him, Jibaba. How would you actually describe this collaboration? How did this come about? And did this have any impact on your career right now?
Yeah, it does. It did. So, like, the strength with collaborations is you're fusing two different, like we're talking about culture. I mean, I grew up in a whole different neighborhood where I come from, people are around. Your maps grew up in a whole different world too. So when we got together and said, you know what, let's try something. Let's make a song. That wasn't the only song that we made. That was just like one of the tries. Like, you know what, can we work? Let's do it. Let's see if this sound makes sense. So we worked. It made sense. Made a few other songs which he has, I have, for all of us's benefit.
Yeah.
So it did have a lot of impact immediately after I dropped it, because we learned that, okay, because of this sound, this is the type of fan base that we have. Looking at Zambia and neighboring countries, because it was easy for the song to capture a lot of neighboring countries. For instance, Zimbabwe, the likes of Malawi, Mozambique. You know, the response was very good. So the impact is very good, has always been good from the time I dropped it. And, you know, we keep moving, we keep dropping some new stuff.
All right, so you've mentioned Zimbabwe as well. We had Cindy last week as well on our show, and you actually did a song with her.
Yeah, Cindy, that's my sister, man. That's like my day one. Yeah, so Cindy, I've known Cindy for quite some time now, like 6 years, I should say, 6. Yeah, for like 6 years. So the time we made the song, we were actually signed to the same record label. So we were working, you know, we kept on working. And, you know, she helped me grow as an artist because I found her in the industry already. So She helped you whatever, whatever tools are needed to survive as an artist. She told me to say, hey, this is how you move about it. She's Zimbabwean, I'm Zambian. So when I made my first move to Zimbabwe, I never really knew how their culture was and how things work in their industry. And then she was there to hold it down for me.
All right, so there's this bug that moves around. When you actually get famous, it's quite hard to get collaborations with you or with any other artist as well. Like, let's say young artists that are upcoming in the industry, to actually get someone who's quite popular in their record is quite a hassle. Do you think that maybe you actually struggled with that, let's say, to put your music out there?
Yeah, I actually do. So, like, for me, I feel like it's easy for me to understand, somebody who's just made it out today, and it's very hard to catch them. Because once you make it out, you're not the only one on the table. You're not the only one making decisions. And then your image is very important. So your team is not about to allow you to do just anything out of your head, because it eventually becomes costly. Because it's different from an artist that's not yet made it, because at the end of the day, you're looking for a way to make it. So now you've made it, some things have to change. I've experienced that because I myself have insecurities when it comes to the music I make and my brand. So I'm not just about to just jump onto anything. I need to always have in mind to say, does it benefit my brand and my team?
Right, so
it's very difficult. So there's always okay, can we work? Okay, do you think this sound is good? Or can we make it better? Does it benefit my brand? How are we all going to survive, and how are we going to help each other?
All right, so what would you say has been the peak of your career since you started recording and putting your music out there?
Well, my peak of when it really happened for me was 2018. 2018, when I first dropped my single called Mutima. So Mutima was a solo. It was just me doing me perfecting my sound. Then dropped to 2018, was everywhere in the city. And then how you have a song playing everywhere. You're just a kid, you do not know how to move around the world. You need guidance, you need everything. So everything changed for me. Everything was new to me. It's how people that you want to work with wants to work with you and you don't expect it. That shock. You're just a young artist and you're so curious. And then everything has just been laid down for you. Like, okay, you've proved yourself now, let's do it. My life changed in a way that I got to grow as an artist. The second thing, my perspective of how things work in the industry had changed that year. The money side of it also just changed. So 2018 was the year for me. And I'm hoping there's another year that's bringing better days than this, because dreams don't die. We keep getting, we keep moving forward and just trying to get the best.
Yeah. 2018 was also my year in my own way. I like that you said it's also yours, because I think there was a lot that was happening in 2018. I think there was a lot of good air that was going on in 2018. All right. So would you say that there are any gatekeepers when it comes to the music industry in Zambia? Because I know that there's some people that have been veterans in the music industry there. Would you say that there's some gatekeepers, let's say, when you want to go and perform at a show or get bookings or get collaborations?
I mean, you just don't come and make change. There's always someone out there who's thinking, yeah, can this boy, is this boy bringing the right change? You know what I mean? Because when I came in, my sound was different. Not everyone understood it. So it was very difficult for some people to accept it, yet some people were accepting. You know what I mean? So, but otherwise, it's been a challenge for me. So, challenge or no challenge, we did it anyways. So, but then there's always big names that, when they hear something nice. One of the big brothers that I can say right now is T-Boy. I don't know if you've heard of T-Boy. Yeah, T-Boy was one of the guys that when I dropped my song, before it even hit numbers, he heard the song and he was like, "This is good." Like, this is good. And that's a big name telling you that. And then you're like, okay, does this song have potential? So, like, him being humble to me as a young artist coming up, that meant a lot to me. And the likes of people like Maki 2. I don't know if you've heard of Maki 2. Yeah, that's a big name in the country. No one can touch that. There's people like that that have also appreciated my sound, and they've been like, you're gonna open doors that you won't even understand. So
just take us through this track, and the song seems to have a very touching message. What message is it talking about exactly? Because I can hear some of the words, and obviously there's some Chinyanja in there that I cannot understand, which is similar to Chichewa, but just take us through the track.
Okay. So Njila was a song I dropped, I think, a few months ago with HD Empire. Those are my brothers too. Shout out to them, like big ups to them. So the collaboration was made possible because someone felt like we could make something really good. And then during that time, well, I made that song based on a few things that I had gone through myself growing up and up until where I got now. So that song just kept on playing in my head, like, yo, it's been so hard for me to find a way to actually, eat and just be like, put myself out there and just do it for myself. So when I wrote that song, I was like, okay, I don't know who I'm gonna put on this song, but then I kept on listening to HD Empire's music for some time through people, and it's like, okay, these guys have they have a way of really making their message heard. You get what I mean? So forward, we made that song. The song Jill, I'm sure you know the word Jill, what Jill means. Jill is like a way.
Like a path?
Yeah, like a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a path. So the first few lyrics in the song say Popeza Njila Usabwelele. So it's like you're literally saying, go and find it in your way, never go back. These are words that encourage people who are, keep making, all you're trying to do is find a way to make it. Things are hard, but then eventually you're gonna find it. So there's no need to go back because everyone is doing the same. So why stop now? All
right, so I'm gonna put you a bit away from music for a bit. We're in the month of June, and the month of June is pretty much commemorating men's mental health, and we're just raising awareness on men's mental health. What is it that you have to say when it comes to men's mental health?
Your men's mental health is one important thing that a lot of people don't really talk about, and I'm glad you've mentioned that. It's very difficult to know to know if a man is going through a lot. It's very difficult because men have been raised to always keep their emotions away, and whatever they're going through, it may not be worse, but it starts small. And we have never been given the platform to say, you know what, let's talk about your problems. How's things? How's everything going?
Yeah.
We've always been taught to be strong. Men don't cry. Just do it. You know what I mean? So it's very important because when a man's mental health is affected, a lot of people are affected. We can put it, for example, in a home. If a man's mental health is not good, everyone in the house is messed up as well.
Right,
yeah,
so
looking at men are like,
yeah.
yeah, go on.
you as an artist, how do you actually tackle such issues to bring them to light into society, to say that, you know what, men also have emotions and we need to be heard out and we need the help that we can get?
Well, for me, I easily express myself using my music.
Hmm.
When I write music, I try by all means I bring out what a certain part of me that has affected me or how good it's going. Be it bad, be it good, I always try to bring that out. So when I bring out a song and people are talking about it, for me that's my therapy, because I get to now understand how other few people think about things. You know what I mean? How people are living life through it. For example, the same song Njila, that idea has always been part of me for a long time. And then me coming to drop a song now after a long time, has gotten me to a spot where now when people are talking about it, I just get to relate to say, oh, okay, even if I went through such things, because even, on my social media, people are always posting when I post that song to say, just advising people to grow and always push forward. So yeah, mental health is very important. So for me, that's how I express myself, through my music. And I feel like if for other men too, they should always find a way to always express themselves, because talking to people is not a bad thing. I know men consider it, a weakness, but finding the right person to talk to and hearing out exactly how you feel so that you can leave some baggage behind so that you can focus on your goals and achieve a few things in life.
All right, awesome. So there's been a lot of great relationships that have been blooming between Malawi and Zambia musically, on social media. We've seen a lot of unity that's between Malawi and Zambia. Do you plan on coming to Malawi anytime soon? Definitely.
If there's something I'm never leaving behind, is a collaboration from Malawi. It's how easy we can relate to each other, Zambians and Malawans.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the barrier of Nyanja that we get to understand each other easier than any of these other countries.
It could
but
be.
I kind of feel like Malawi is Zambia, just a Zambia that has been demarcated. You know what I mean?
All right. So who are you looking forward to working with in Malawi?
So I have a few young artists that have been lined up for me in Malawi. I'm yet to check the list. There's about 4. Then Dremo is one of them. Dremo is one of the hot shots that I need to work with. Me and my team have spoken about that. So we're looking to work as much as we can. And also just like I mentioned, the young artists, because never forget that there's always a new generation to come up. So to stay relevant, the goal is to always work with everyone that comes up. So we work with Dremo and a few other big shots. We work with the young artists, put them on as well. It's the brand that's more important for me and my team. So we're definitely going to work with a lot of people in Malawi.
All right. In terms of touring Malawi as well, are there any plans to do that as well?
Yeah. Certainly gonna do that after I drop my EP. I should be dropping an EP very soon. We're still working on it, but it's soon to be done. So after that, we'll definitely make a lineup of these shows in Malawi. Just to keep the culture connectivity going.
All right, so I checked your social media and you keep teasing for a song with Tilo Battis. I think the title is Favor.
Yeah.
When are you dropping this?
Yeah. Well, release date has not been mentioned.
Okay.
But it's coming soon. Me and my brother Tilo have been talking, so shooting a music video, looking at the way to promote it and, grow each other's brands. So we're not about to rush it. It's a very big song. And you all should stay tuned because this is something different and it's amazing. And Malawi will be one of the countries to really benefit from it. Just the message itself really is really good.
All right, so just give us a hunch in our studios as well, because we really, really wanted to see you live.
Nice. Let's make a plan. Malawi is home. It's just here, so let's make a plan behind closed doors. Let's make it happen. Let's give the people something new, something beautiful.
For sure. That was our guest straight from Zambia here, Baneba Pompapa, and his name is Luwizzy, and he's going to be with us. This is not the last time we're going to hear from him again, so make sure that you do stand by, and we're going to be hearing what next is up for him in the world of music here on the motherland, because he did mention about some collaborations right here in Malawi, and getting into hit zone is music here coming in from him, Luwizzy, and this one's called Njila. Let's check it out.
Yeah. Hello, in a shady boy. Empire ni 4 pa mu 20. Luwizzy baby, yeah, boss. No, Popes Angela, Paja Popes Angela, usa buenele. Popes Angela, Paja Popes Angela, usa buenele. No, Chimili, Shosho kama piri, Silingati and Dani Funo wina number 1, They think I never did a bantana, they want, but the fire no kumbona, but we seven, but there is fire. Turendo rutalero se bambano rutambro no ashmariaso Empire ni 4 let's go Batiro kwamba kwali kosa fya kosa chikolo tampe kulabati pamoya kakana pala ya kakana pepa mwebele sampe chali to success chali barafu barobete kuti ube enough jampa kute yanalisha refu Rendo rutali urubali batafu wilepe wakosa notana pokunenuka ikona shaisha notana pokupona Popes Angela, usa buenele. Popes Angela, Paja Popes Angela, usa buenele. Nona kapono kuna kazona. Karolete kado. Yo, alayani kosa pakuba kofepo wishinga. Wala fika po wichilinga na boba kupatile po baka kufilinga noponya pona makiro tie pushinga life yali kosa kalabana limoila kakana kuma wisa kama noka ukakama na wilekela paja mwana kachushisha mobana nundamo makasana na ngudine na itana apani go forward jihadi limosi twila bako badi daddy la bako fenefya kuba sadi madi kosa po fe life yo beni webo gadi atishon Popes Angela, usa buenele. Popes Angela, Paja Popes Angela, usa buenele.
That was music there coming in from our guest today. That's Luwizzy, and it's called Njila. Tune in again next week to find out who is our guest. Are we stepping outside the borders, or are we maintaining the same energy within Malawi? I don't know. You just have to find out next week. But you've been with me, your host, Lucy JR. Until then, peace.
I know that you've been working so hard. Everything you do is falling apart. You are not a fool, you effing smart. But this coldest world keeps breaking your heart, yeah.
Malawi, what's good? It's your boy Sonia, and you're watching Crafthouse TV, the game changer. Peace.
If you keep it together, you'll see your brighter day.
The sun will shine after it